Amsterdam, everyone. We're here at the Alliance Gaming Crypto Conference together with Pet3rpan, the legend himself. And yeah, shout out for organizing such a great event.
It is my pleasure.
Yeah, can you share about yourself, your story?
Yeah, I guess I stumbled into crypto just over 4.5 years ago. It's been a wild journey. I joined, before then I was a UX designer.
Oh wow.
Just like humble.
I never knew that.
Yeah, really? Okay, yeah. I was designing products, talking to users, designing user interfaces, doing UX research, and stumbled in pretty by accident. I think I quickly started studying the space a bit more, understanding the history, realizing that this was really important technology. Crypto didn't come out of nowhere. It came from this rolling, movement known as the cypherpunk movement, a movement about digital freedom, digital rights, and digital access. And they were they really emerged from the cryptographers from the 70s, right?
Yeah.
And it sort of landed me in this weird place where I realized this was going to happen. I went all in pretty much with all my energy, all my time.
I love that.
My girlfriend left me then, because I was doing too much.
All in.
I went
Absolutely.
full send, and
yeah.
For the last couple of years, I guess first 2 to 3 years in crypto, I've sort of worked in this community called MetaCartel. It was initially UX infrastructure working group, and then we quickly realized that UX infrastructure is not the bottleneck to mass adoption. It was actually use cases. And then that grew into more of a DApp. I think the first DApp builders community in Ethereum.
Exactly, and that's how we met.
That's right, and then we also built different. So from that, we sort of gave grants to and supported projects like Zappa that was built. We sort of incubated the first prototypes of what became Collabland.
Yeah.
We gave grants to projects like Gelato Finance and Atlantis World.
Yeah.
Snapshot. As well. Different projects in space that everyone depends on. I think. We just I think we just focus on use cases, and that's what by default we're sort of at the center of it. And I think on top of that, we really started experimenting what DAOs could be beyond just Moloch, a Moloch DAO grants program, right? So Moloch DAO is really the first DAO that emerged after the DAO hack, right?
Yeah.
And it provided grants, and we was really exploring what could DAOs do? Could they provide services? We created Radio, a service, the first service DAO really. Can they be decentralized fashion labels? MetaFactory. Can we create decentralized, investment DAOs that are run by community?
MetaCartel Ventures,
right?
Yeah.
And then I think we just really try to think about where could DAOs go, where could DAOs be, and I throughout this process really enjoyed sort of supporting these projects and thinking through and doing a lot of the coordination. I would call myself a coordination junkie. When there's coordination that can happen, I just there's this itch I want to scratch, right? And I guess for the last few years I went full time into investing in KX, and that's been pretty fulfilling. I just really enjoyed helping these projects bootstrap, thinking through ecosystem building, DAO building, and and I had a blast.
I love that. I love how you've been coordinating on all of these sorts of different fronts, and both from MetaCartel and also 1KX. And I know 1KX is probably in touch with a lot of different gaming projects, and I wonder what do you see as a kind of the main barriers for us to go in the global arena in terms of scaling and adoption?
I guess I don't see it as games. I see I guess I see crypto. The whole point of crypto is to build self-sovereign virtual nation states, virtual economies, and I see games as a medium in which you can bootstrap economies through. Right, and I think I see everything. I now sort of see everything, crypto as a means to end to build, I guess virtual economies that can become larger than physical ones in the future. And so for me, this means DeFi and governance tools. I guess with DeFi, for example, the actual real users and customers of DeFi, in my opinion, are not TradFi, but actual citizens of the metaverse that are don't have access to financial services. And I see, governance tooling as tools that will be used to govern, economies bigger than nation states.
Yeah, and empower people. Yeah,
that's right, and empower people.
I love that.
And so I think how we get there in terms of gaming, I think that we have to look beyond what games just are and have been, and think about what they can become and evolve for Web3.